Hey, welcome back. Instead of originally doing an about me video for my second video, I decided I'd be better to just jump into art and do that video another time. So today I'm going to be giving you all a tutorial on drawing with graphite, or pencil, and we're going to be drawing in particular dogs, or wolves. I say a dog or a wolf because some dogs look like wolves, like huskies, German shepherds, you know. Yeah, we're going to be doing a tutorial of dogs and wolves with 3 levels. We have beginner, amateur, and intermediate slash semi-difficult. Not really professional, because we're not all professionals. I mean, I don't even consider myself a professional. So, that should say something. So before we get started, make sure you have a clean level surface to draw on, or if you prefer, you can draw on your lap, but just be sure you're in a comfortable position. Make sure you have some pencils handy and sharpened up too. You can use any type of pencil, like a standard number 2 wooden pencil. You can use a mechanical pencil, or if you have drawing pencils, you can use those as well. If you plan on using drawing pencils for these drawings, I recommend using the B types. The H types can be difficult to erase if you make mistakes, and they can also come out on the paper too light. Just as a heads up. Make sure you have erasers on hand if you make mistakes, and if you feel like you'll be making some stray marks or stuff like that. But don't worry about the drawings coming out perfect. With time and practice, it's going to get much easier. It's going to be so much easier, trust me. Once you have everything all set and ready to go, let's get started on the first and very basic level of this tutorial. The first level is a very basic level and can be done by kids ages 3 and up, but honestly, any age can do this. This one focuses more so on shapes rather than equal proportions and angles. And it actually goes with a little song, but I don't have a voice good enough for singing, so I'm going to put in a clip of the song and draw it for you on screen. Just kidding, I can't get the song, because it's probably going over copyright. So I'm just going to say it aloud anyway, because that might be easier. Firstly, it goes, "There was once a man with no arms." So I'm going to draw a little circle, and then a stick figure with no arms. Next, it goes, "Who got chased by bees." So we're going to draw these little dots. So he jumped into a lake. So we're going to draw a big circle all around these parts. Climbed over 2 mountains. So we're going to draw pretty much 2 hills. They're not really mountains. Now this one's a little gruesome. Got shot twice. So just draw 2 dots. Went to heaven, so we're going to draw another big circle, or really more so a half circle, over this. And then grew 2 wings. I struggled at this part for some reason. The one wing I was like, yeah, no, didn't look right, it was lopsided. Yeah, I struggle with perfectionism, if you guys don't know me well enough. And there you go. There you have the basic shape of a dog. This isn't a wolf, but you could also do a wolf with the 2 wings kind of coming out of the heaven halo-ish thing. Just as an idea. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. The whole point of this drawing is it's unique to everyone. And it doesn't matter if it's lopsided, doesn't matter if it's uneven, if it looks weird to you. It's fine. If you really want to do this again, go ahead and do it again. But either way, it's just a cute little puppy dog face. Or wolf face if you decide to do what I suggested. Alright, so this next one, we're going to be testing out the amateur level for drawing a dog slash wolf. This one's going to be more of a wolf shape, per se. This gets a little trickier, but with some guidelines and practice, and hopefully through my guidance, you can get the hang of it. So first things first, we're going to draw a very basic circle shape. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle, just a circle. Next, we're going to be adding some crosshair-like shapes to this, so it's just going to look like the circle has been cut into 4 different sections. After our guidelines, we're going to be adding this oval shape that's going to be on both either side of the vertical line and then right above the horizontal line. So right after the left eye, we're going to add a rectangular shape. I'm going to kind of have it blend in with that left eye, as you see there. And then it's just going to be a really loose rectangle. It's not going to be any pointiness, you know. It's just going to be a rectangle. And we're going to link it up with the chin. I'm going to add a little connection here that'll bring it down all the way to the neckline. And then we're going to be adding some side lines just for the overall shape of the other side of the head. Next, we're going to be making some rounded triangle shapes just as a guideline for the ears. I'm going to make the right one a little bigger because it's aiming at us at a closer point of view, and then the left ear, their right ear, is going to be farther away. We're going to add a little tufts here and there, and then we're going to add a overall very rough basic neckline to connect all of it together. Now we're going in with the eyes. Wolf eyes are kind of weird in shape. They're definitely a plain circle, but then there's kind of a triangle corner, obviously in the front, kind of similar to our eyes. Pretty much we're just making it a lot more defined, and there's a lot more black around that type of area, especially that front, and kind of close to the eyebrow line or where the brow line would be. And we're just gonna, again, do a very rough basic shape. It's gonna look a little scary at first, but trust me, it's gonna get a lot better. Next is a nose. It's gonna look kind of like a half mushroom shape. If you split a mushroom in half, it's gonna kind of look like that. But you're gonna add little nose holes, I guess, so it can breathe. And then I'm gonna go on the other side, and because it's on an angle, some of that nostril might actually pop out on the other side, so we're gonna add that too. Then with that nose line, we're gonna bring it down and make a little indent to where the mouth is going to be, bring it down to the chin, and then we're going to start our mouth kind of a little in front of the eyeball, kind of starting at the middle point, and then make it slightly curved back to where we made that guideline, and then we're going to finish off the mouth with another little addition to that mouth. It's going to look like the lip almost. Most dogs and wolves kind of have a little black hanging out at the corner of their mouth. That's what we're trying to imply. Then we're going to add a little mark as to where the snout would be, and then a little roundness to where that little bend is going to work. And then we're going to add some brow lines, or like eyebrow-ish lines, because dogs actually have that. They'll have like little whiskers or an indentation of some sort of eyebrow mark. And then we're going to bring the tuft from kind of the ear area and round it out to the rest of the face so it gives us a full defined shape. Then we're going to bring some of that fur from the neck, and we're going to imply more fur with that line by just adding a couple wavy spikes. We're going to start with a head tuft, or the head fur, just to give it, again, more of the overall shape. We're going to use our guideline and bring it to the eyebrow side of the left eye. Then we're going to bring it out with a little bit of the cheek, and then have more fur, because we love our fur. And then we're going to start with the ears. Are going to have a little bit of fluff kind of from either side, definitely starting on the outside and connecting it down to kind of the face, and then blending it into the neck fur. Then we're going to start and add the fur from the bottom, kind of where we started the face shape, and we're going to bring it upwards. This is just going to imply that the ear has some dimension to it rather than just a triangle shape, and we're going to apply this to both sides as you'll see me draw. Then we're going to go on to the other ear. Here I added where the bend of the ear would be and then where the fur would start, because obviously because this ear is on an angle, it's going to look a lot more different and not like the right ear. It's just going to be slightly tilted, but we're still going to make it and approach it like it's that ear, just obviously with a couple alterations as you see there. Then here I am adding more fur, and then this is where we're going to erase our guidelines, just to kind of clean it up a bit. And this is also to help me kind of finalize some details in case I need to add anything or subtract anything. If I notice anything that's off, I'll just kind of touch it up real quick, things like that. I also add a couple of very minor details, but it's to emphasize the features of the face. Like I'm adding like kind of underbrow lines and middle line, kind of the indent to where the eye meets the bridge, all the way up to the eyebrows, and then some kind of line shape in between the nose, because dogs and wolves actually have that. Me filling in the nose holes and kind of giving it some shape so it doesn't look, you know, like this is a demon-possessed wolf. Then little spots for where the whiskers would be, because dogs have whiskers too. And then we start on the pupils. The pupils I didn't add a whole lot of time with, because this is just a very basic sketch. Wolf eyeballs are a little scary. I mean, they have a straight black pupil, and then it's usually like yellow around it. There is no blending or any muscle that you really see, kind of like in a human eye. So it's just going to look a lot more bold and there, rather than a human eye where it would have a bunch of blending colors, indications of muscle in the iris, kind of things like that. I also want to add when I mess up, because obviously everyone's gonna mess up, even me, and I've done art for pretty much all my life, and I don't want to throw away the fact that I make mistakes, because everyone is going to make mistakes. It just happens, and you can fix them, especially with pencil. You can always fix them with pencil. Then I'm adding a couple more finer details, and I'll be connecting the jaw to the chin line so the face is more defined. And then I'm going to add some more details around the ear and start erasing the overall guideline. I'll speed this part up because it's kind of self-explanatory. You're just getting rid of the lines that you made for your wolf drawing. And yeah, this is not my typical wolf. I tried to make it as realistic as possible, but because I like to do mainly cartoon drawings, I don't do the eyes like that. If anything, my cartoon wolves sometimes look like anime characters. Not entirely, but the eyes are definitely different than most real life animals that I draw. And then there's the amateur level. Obviously there's not a whole ton of detail with it. I did that on purpose to kind of help you guys get a very basic understanding and a very basic layout before you really decide to delve in and add detail. Now the last level, the kind of difficult / professional level, I'm not really going to add anything to that, because essentially the amateur level is really where you're going to practice all your anatomical studies and different angles of the wolf and posture, things like that. If you decide to even make a body, you have to practice with that. Anatomy is really helpful and very useful with that. But overall, I guess what I'm going to show is how detailed I can get this amateur looking sketch to close to a professional level. Not exactly professional, but professional enough where you can definitely see quite the difference between the amateur and professional levels. And when I say professional, I mean not to where it looks perfect, but where it looks realistic enough. So adding the shading, adding highlights, shadows, details, especially shading with pencil. That's very important. You got to make sure that all the features are defined and that they link up well with the anatomy of an actual wolf head, wolf shape. So here I'll insert the picture of the final product, the details added after I drew that amateur wolf head. You'll see the highlights, the shadows, implications of fur, the texture of the fur, things like that. And that's it. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!